Hello, Mother Willow here. Critical race theory, part two. Okay, just a little recap in case you didn't see my first one. We're talking about critical race theory. And I use an analogy of the animal that is caught in a trap and how you're trying, no matter how hard you try to get this animal out of the trap, the animal is going to fight you. It's going to bite you. And it's going to do all kinds of things to keep you from helping it. Okay. And like I said before, you can have the attitude of, well, you don't want me to help you then. The least I can do is kill you and put you out of your misery. Or we can figure out another way of helping. Now, the reason why they were using this analogy in the psychology class was when a person is trapped and has gone through the traumas of all of this entrapment, then when you try to help them, even though they're trying to hear you and trying to listen to you with the mind of reason, those traumas, those things, it's not getting through. So you have to figure out a different way to put the victim that is in the trap, whether it's a trap of an abuse relationship, trap of incest, or anything like that, as a um, you have to approach it in a different way. Okay, just hold that in your mind for just a moment, because what I am seeing is critical race theory, and they're criticizing it because it is woke. It's waking people up to the diversity of this world. And it advocates change, talks about all different types of cultures. The two cultures that are criticized the mostly is the Black and the Native American, because they were victimized. I don't want to say the most because they all were. The Asians, the Jews, all of them. But right now, that seems to be on the top of the muddy water is slavery and the persecution and the execution of the Native Americans. And it was done by white men, white people. It wasn't done by white folk. And when a child is in school and is learning these things, a lot of times the child will come home, and if it's a white child, it comes home to mom and dad, and I'm learning this in school. Why did we do this? What's going on? There's a lot of questions that come up in the child's mind. My skin is white. White people did this. And should we be ashamed? Now, as I had mentioned before, the name, blame, shame game. Part of the name, blame, shame game is not owning up to your responsibility and accountability and saying, yes, that's what my ancestors did, or that's what the race did. And some want to say, well, it wasn't me because I wasn't even born here, it wasn't my ancestor, it wasn't. The denial to push that away and say, oh, it wasn't me, it wasn't me. Why are you doing all this stuff to me? And a lot of people think that shame should be there. Shame is a hard emotion for people to assimilate and to realize. It is shameful. It's very shameful. So what do we do as a race, as white folk? We recognize it and we own up to it. Yes, it happened. Now is the time to start rolling up your sleeves and saying, you know what? We're not going to put up with this anymore. And it's time to stand by our brothers and sisters and say, yes, indeed, this happened. This is history. And this is history that needs to be learned. Because as they say, history, if you don't learn it, you're destined to repeat it. And that's where accountability and responsibility comes in. Lord, yes, these people did horrible things. Do we really want to repeat that? I don't. I'm sorry. I don't want to repeat that. When I see the the white supremacists out there with their flags and if you notice a lot of them have masks on, they're they're so afraid and so ashamed and so everything of what they're doing, but yet they're out there pointing the finger and they're snapping and snarling and biting because they're trapped. And think about it. Who raised these people? Where did it come from? See, the chain was never broken there. And the entrapment continues. And when I see these people standing up there sputing and spouting their hate, they don't need hate being brought back to them. Their, their fear, their fear has gotten them so badly that they don't know what to do. They are the trapped animal in the trap that can't listen to reason. And I heard someone on TikTok say, you know what? There's a war coming. Do we really need a war? Because that's the same example of, I want to help you, but you don't want to listen to reason, so I'm just going to shoot you and put you out of your misery. I think we're better than that. I think we are really, really better. And we're smart, everybody, all of us, to get together, every one of us, Black, white, Native American, Asian, Jew, I don't care what you are, Muslims, all of us. We need to stand together and show that hate cannot go into hate and create a war. That's not what we need to do. We need to rise and listen to reason and do something much better. Come on. Let's do it. There may be a part 3. Who knows? Bye-bye. I love you.